I don't even know why I come here.
Another day's been locked away inside my mind. It's hard to find a reason why I'd even try. Empty, but I'm still wasting my time just getting by. As I'm drowning slowly, I scream into nothing just to feel something. Is anyone listening? The more that I feed it, the deeper I sink it. Is anyone listening?
come to an end. Goodbye, Tampa. We'll see you next year. Monday Night Raw tonight, man. Very, very good show. Newsworthy show. Lots of great discussion to come out of tonight's Raw. CM Punk is injured. Again. He will miss WrestleMania. No, it is not a work. He will not be at WrestleMania. He will not main event WrestleMania. He will not be challenging Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. But who will? Who will? I'll give you a clue, guys. It's not Cody Rhodes. No, Cody Rhodes didn't change his mind. Stop. Please. Seth Rollins tried to convince Cody Rhodes that the championship that he's holding is more valuable and prestigious than the one Roman Reigns has. DIY and the Judgment Day tag team titles on the line. Drew McIntyre continues to do excellent work. Main event, Jey Uso could be eyeing some singles golds. And Gunther reaches 600 days as Intercontinental Champion. I don't care what day it is. I like me a cold beverage. That's why I'm going to the venue where they're served ice cold all day long. Hopefully you guys got the same. Tonight we're drinking in my mother's basement, and when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your WWE Monday Night Raw post show for January 29th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. And no, whoever asked in the chat, Midnight Hustle, thanks for coming, bro. Get the fuck out. No, I don't really live at my mom's house. You're a complete idiot. It's my mother's basement, though, as you see right behind me, man. It says, my mother's basement. Right there. What would give you the impression that I live at my mom's house, geek? because I have a green screen and you can't see my actual office, which is beautiful, by the way? What makes you think I live in my mother's bed? You know what? Don't worry, man. You can no longer chat here. Get the fuck out. January 29th, 2024. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, thank you for joining me on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. CM Punk, man. CM Punk. It's unbelievable. The dark cloud of Vince McMahon looms large. Now, clearly, CM Punk was supposed to be a major proponent of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. The rumored match was CM Punk winning the Elimination Chamber, challenging Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is not in the cards anymore for Philadelphia. News broke earlier this afternoon that CM Punk is injured. He's out up to 6 months, 4 to 6 months, with a torn triceps. The report says that the triceps was completely torn off the bone. This happened in the Royal Rumble. I didn't really think much of it. A lot of people look fucking foolish now. You know how many people... CM Punk looks terrible, man. He's got to hang up the boots, bro. How many people on Saturday night I heard that from? Little did you know that the man was working the last 15 minutes of the Royal Rumble with a fucking torn tricep. No, but he looked terrible. There you go, man. How many of you wish you could take that comment back now? I was the only one. People were... What are you watching, man? Did you watch the same Royal Rumble that I did? I actually said on Saturday, and you can quote me, I thought CM Punk looked great. And he did it with a torn tricep. He's out. He's finished for now. The one part that disgusts me about all this, and I have very attentive mods in the chat, if you are here and I see you in here or on social media wishing the downfall of CM Punk, coming on in here and coming on to Twitter, if I see you celebrating in this man's injury, you are absolutely 100% forever benched. The amount of tweets that I've seen today celebrating this man's injury for one reason or another. Oh, AEW elitists. Oh, it's karma. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Fuck Punk. Get out. Never in 1,000 lifetimes would I come on here and say that about this man. I don't understand why you need or feel the need to do so. They're all human at the end of the day. This man has a family. This man has a loving wife at home. This man has a beautiful, handsome dog, by the way. Larry, at home. Is he not a human being? Does he not bleed like you? What has he done? He ruined AEW, man. I hope CM Punk gets hit by a car in traffic. I hope he retires. Whatever the fucking case may be. People are wishing for this man's downfall today. Ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting. Never mind these geeks. CM Punk is not main eventing WrestleMania. He's going to be out 4 to 6 months with a torn tricep. This was reported by PW Insider and then confirmed by other outlets today. Meltzer talked about it. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select talked about it. Everybody wondered if he was injured coming out of the Royal Rumble. This conversation bled into this morning from last night in regards to CM Punk's health and status. Wrestling Observer reported that Punk has sustained a triceps injury, which PW Insider has reported that they heard will require surgery. And obviously, he came out to open Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll go over exactly what he said on the show in just a bit. Clearly, he came out, confirmed those reports. This will sideline him past WrestleMania. Fightful had heard that Punk suffered a tricep injury in the Royal Rumble, and it was confirmed by other outlets, including WWE. Fightful has been on the lookout here for any extra news. And they confirmed that towards the end of the Royal Rumble match that a WWE referee checked on Punk and asked if he needed a doctor. Punk waved off the referee and wished to finish the match instead of getting a doctor in there immediately. Dave Meltzer reported also that he suffered a significant injury, which we then later found out was a torn triceps. Meltzer noted his exact injury was unconfirmed when I found out by those in WWE. The plan is for him to address the nature of the injury, which he did on Monday Night Raw tonight. It was a torn triceps, but nobody in the day before this report was willing to confirm it. Meltzer added that there was a spot in the Royal Rumble where the referee checked on Punk. He told the referee, my triceps. It was said that it happened late in the match after taking a future shock DDT by Drew McIntyre, which I'm sure will be or has already been floating around on social media if you guys want to go see and pinpoint the exact moment in which CM Punk got injured. So it was really nothing he did. It was really nothing that he particularly did. He just landed awkwardly. The future shock DDT got him. And now he's out 4 to 6 months. Everybody's like, oh, CM Punk is washed, or CM Punk is this, CM Punk is that. You know, I'm not here to tell anybody who's washed and who's not. Clearly, in the Royal Rumble, when he came out there, he looked in phenomenal shape for his age. He's 45 years old, okay? Clearly, he's not in his prime anymore. He looked phenomenal. His body looked right. He looked like he conditioned for the Royal Rumble. Was he gassed? Sure. That's what the Royal Rumble is supposed to do, okay? He got in there, and he was in there with some heavy hitters. I don't know if you guys watched the same Rumble as I did, but I would dare you, anybody, any one of you, to take the chops that Drew McIntyre threw at CM Punk and then please stand up and finish the match like he did. I don't know how many chops there were. I think there were about 3 or 4 chops. I mean, they were as loud as fucking shotgun blasts in the Royal Rumble. I mean, anything would have been loud with that fucking crowd on Saturday night, as dead as they were. But you go in there and you try breathing with the chops that Drew McIntyre laid upon CM Punk's chest. And then half of you, most of you, all of you, didn't even know that he had torn the tricep in the Royal Rumble. And he went another, 10 to 12 minutes with Cody Rhodes after everybody was eliminated and they were going back and forth with the final 2. Come on, man. CM Punk was going to be an integral part of WrestleMania. The way he came out tonight, the tears in his eyes, we'll go over what he said. Clearly, this was uber important to him. This was the reason why he's back. He's trying to turn over a new leaf. He's trying to correct all the wrongs that had happened in the last go-around in WWE. He's trying to come off what is a major headache over in AEW, and he's just trying to do what is right. And he was doing what needed to be done. The fans were fully in support of CM Punk. And now he's not going to be at the show in the match that he desired to be in. It's always something. But you know what? Adversity and setbacks, this is all going to come back around, and it's going to be part of an even greater story. Because honestly, if you look at it, and I'm looking at it from a different point of view as everybody else. Everybody's stuck on Cody and Roman, or it's going to be Roman and The Rock, or whatever WWE's got planned. Yeah, Rollins and Punk is a great match, and I'm sure we'll get that at some point. I don't know if Rollins is going to be the champion at that point when Punk comes back. Rollins himself may need surgery as well. We still don't know that for sure. But if Punk main evented with Seth Rollins, great. For the World Heavyweight Championship, night 1, great. I'm sure people would have been talking about it, but would it be the thing that people end up singling out as the biggest thing that happened that night on WrestleMania? Because to me, that's a pretty big fucking deal. CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania for the first time and winning the World Championship in the main event, something that he's desired his entire life, that's a pretty big fucking deal. You know what we do? That's his story. That's the story going into next year's WrestleMania. And for all we know, he could main event not night 1, but night 2 at WrestleMania. Probably not, because they'll probably save Roman and The Rock for next year's WrestleMania. So he'll probably be upstaged by The Rock anyway next year, and everything that I just said is just like, fuck out of here, man. It's not even a valid point. But it will be a greater story next year, because he's got this injury and the overcoming this injury to now add to that story. I know a lot of people looking at him and thinking, well, he's washed. He's somebody that can't be relied on. He's injury prone. Hang up the boots. Maybe it's time for him to go really, really part-time and do this thing sporadically like a Brock Lesnar or an Edge or a Roman Reigns. That's not what Punk wants. That's not why Punk came back. Punk wants to lead this locker room. Punk wants to lead this show. And it just sucks that everything ended up being that way. And yes, we're going to give him another shot. I don't know how many more chances we're going to give him, being that he's now going through yet another injury. First it was the foot, then it was the tricep, and now it's the tricep again. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know why he's as fragile as glass. But everybody is in support of CM Punk, even through this latest setback. Because everybody was excited about what he is bringing to the table, or what he was going to bring to the table going into WrestleMania season and beyond. The show is better with Punk there. WWE is better with Punk there. His presence will be missed greatly. But the thing is, WWE has such a deep roster. And WWE is going to be fine even without CM Punk for the allotted time frame of 4 to 6 months here. Their roster is deep. Rollins is hurt. Punk is hurt. Those are two unbelievably major big names at the top of the card that right now are not 100%. But you know what that means? Sami Zayn gets a bigger role. He gets more of an opportunity. Gunther gets more of an opportunity. Drew McIntyre gets more of an opportunity. Andrade is headed to Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso gets to step up. Their roster is vast, and they will be fine. I'm looking forward to watching him tell his story. I'm looking forward to him getting back healthy and 100%, and hopefully he can maintain that health without any more setbacks here. It is frustrating for Punk. I'm sure it's fucking frustrating. The guy had tears in his eyes tonight while he had to tell everybody he's not going to be able to main event WrestleMania. It's frustrating for us too, because we knew going in what his match was going to be, and everyone was excited about the story that him and Rollins were going to be able to tell. And right now we're going to have to wait on that. There's nothing wrong in waiting. Something like that, the story that those two guys are going to cultivate, the story that those two guys are going to tell, potentially going into SummerSlam now, is going to be just as good going into that show as it would have been WrestleMania. So we'll go over what Punk said in the promo. It was a very heartfelt promo. Probably the best promo that Punk cut since coming back to WWE, because it was real. Not to say the other ones weren't real, but this was based on real life, personal friends of his or a friend of his. And obviously with him missing WrestleMania, the emotion that he showed just kind of added to the overall effect of the promo. We're going to go over Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins as well. Cody Rhodes came out to basically lay down the challenge to Roman Reigns, but Seth Rollins had other ideas. Tonight, Seth Rollins tried to convince Cody Rhodes not to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Is that the title that you want? Seth Rollins said that the title that he wears around his waist is the title. It's the title that his father would have wanted him to go after. The Workhorse Championship. Not the Hollywood title or the Hulk Hogan title or whatever you want to call it, he mentioned. I don't know why anybody believes Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins is going to be your main event for WrestleMania, but here we are. Here's a spoiler, folks. It's not the main event of WrestleMania. They're not relegating Cody Rhodes to night one main event. Rock and Roman does not need to happen this year. I don't know how many times I need to bury it in your fucking faces. Stop. The Rock himself basically admitted that he's a long gamer. He wants this to be the biggest storyline of all time. I don't know how you do that when we're going into February. How you're going to do the biggest storyline ever over a stretch of 8 weeks. I don't see how that's possible. Sounds like more of a year-long build for Roman and The Rock. We don't know what's happening at the Elimination Chamber. We don't know if Roman's going to be there. We don't know if The Rock is going to be there. We don't know when The Rock is going to show up on TV. I don't know why everybody expects Rock to just come on in and say, hey, guys, I'm here. All right, it's time for WrestleMania. Let me suit up and let me get ready for night 2, main event. I mean, Cody just won back-to-back Royal Rumbles. Do you think they're just handing out back-to-back Royal Rumbles to anybody? I mean, look at the short list of people that have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles. If there's anything that you guys need to know, it's that WWE holds in high regard those that have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles. If you don't think Cody Rhodes is challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania after winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles, I don't know if you really should be watching professional wrestling and digesting it, talking about it with people like me. Because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, let me win back-to-back Royal Rumbles and challenge for a secondary title that everybody knows is a consolation prize to the one Roman Reigns has. But why isn't Cody Rhodes challenging Seth Rollins, JD? I will give you the reason why. Seth Rollins could make every fucking case, point out every aspect as to why Cody Rhodes should challenge him. But it's not going to be. WWE did one thing tonight, and they want to keep you on your toes. It's the Vince McMahon effect. We know Vince ain't there anymore. But where do you think Triple H learned some of his tricks of the trade? Why give away all of your recipes in one night when you can string them along and tell a bigger story going on into the Elimination Chamber and on into WrestleMania? We all know. WWE knows that we all know. They know. But they don't want us to know yet. Get with the program. Rollins is going to have a much bigger threat at WrestleMania. Who? We'll talk about that as well. Gunther. He defended his Intercontinental title against Kofi Rhodes. Kofi Rhodes. That's a new one. Kofi Rhodes. Is he on the roster? Kofi Kingston. I'm thinking of a Cody Rhodes-Gunther match already. Gunther, 600 days as Intercontinental Champion against Kofi Kingston. That was a great match tonight. DIY challenged the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, for the WWE Tag Team titles. And then Bronson Reed went one-on-one with Jey Uso. Bayley, she was about to announce who she was going to go after at WrestleMania until Nia Jax stepped in. Bayley said she will announce who she's going after on Friday. I wonder what's going to happen there. I thought tonight's Monday Night Raw was very good. It was rich with story. We got some aspects of the Elimination Chamber. We got a major WrestleMania match now out of the picture. Where are we going with the World Heavyweight Championship? Cody Rhodes is now deciding between Seth and Roman. Lots to talk about here, right here on Monday Night Raw. I want to thank you guys for joining me here on the live stream. This is the Monday Night Raw post show right here on Off the Script for January 29th, 2024. We have 3,300 in here live tonight. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate it. We have been absolutely killing it as far as the audience is concerned. Saturday for the Royal Rumble, we had 6,700 people. The Vince McMahon stuff, we absolutely killed it, man. Friday night, we had 5,500 people. Drew and I, on Thursday, had 6,000 plus. Unbelievable stuff, man. Thank you guys for all the support. We are already halfway to 153,000 subscribers. Continue to support. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Continue to hit that subscribe button. Off the script, we are just absolutely on fire, and we're not even through the month of January yet. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. X, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that thumbs up. Go check out all the other content on the channel. And make sure you guys check out my sponsor for tonight's show, Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Code SCRIPT20 at checkout. 20% off and free shipping courtesy of the podcast. Road to 1 million, huh? No. I don't know if we'll ever get to 1 million subscribers, man. We're too real for that. Nobody wants to hear real. Nobody wants to hear honest. I mean, if I was more like, you know who, you know, if I was more like,
Cody, can I ask you a question after winning the Royal Rumble?
if I was more like that, maybe I'd be at 1 million, but I don't think we'd get there. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw started off with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, he's on Monday Night Raw, and Michael Cole sitting at the announce desk all by himself. Where is Wade Barrett? I don't know. Where's Wade Barrett? Michael Cole was out there, and they announced that Pat McAfee is going to be joining the Monday Night Raw commentary team permanently. He is now the new color commentator on Monday nights. Now, the reason why should be very obvious to everybody. WWE signed a $5 billion deal, $500 million a year, over 10 years for Monday Night Raw to be broadcast on Netflix. Netflix will be the new home of Monday Night Raw. Netflix and Monday Night Raw instantly makes Raw the flagship show. The contract that they signed for Raw over 10 years makes it the flagship show. And you start to see how the wheels are beginning to roll along here for WWE. SmackDown is the A show now because it's on Fox. They were considered the A show because of the amount of money that they were making and Fox being the bigger network compared to USA Network. But now Netflix instantly makes Monday Night Raw the flagship show, so WWE is making changes to the show. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. We got different camera angles. We got more of a sports-like feel. The backstage promos, for example, DIY cutting a backstage promo as they're walking through the backstage area through Gorilla right before they come out of the curtain to go to the ring. I love that. I love that change. It's something so minor, it's something so simple, and I love that change. It brings a little bit more realism to the show. I don't know if you guys saw the graphics after specific commercial breaks. It happened during Jey Uso. It happened during Bayley and her promo. Jey Uso was getting ready to wrestle Bronson Reed, and we seen these sports-like graphics with Jey Uso in different ways. It looked very sports-like. The presentation was very sports-like. Same thing for Bayley, with their names highlighted across the screen. The screen. Graphics really popping out in front of you. They're making changes. I like that. And we're all getting those wheels moving as we move on to January 2025 when they debut with Netflix. The reason why Pat McAfee is on Monday Night Raw is because Raw is now the A show. And they want all hands on deck. They want everybody that is a major name on this show. Punk has a lot to do with that as well. Who knows if we get a draft? We don't know what the rosters are going to look like by January 25. They could be slightly different by the time we get there. But what happens to SmackDown now? SmackDown doesn't have a lead commentator. Now, I'm all for giving Corey Graves an opportunity to do play-by-play. But I don't really see him as a play-by-play. I honestly think if you take Corey Graves out of the color position, you're taking away 50% of his strength. Corey Graves is not going to be able to give us his dash of comedy. Corey Graves is not going to be able to give us his dash of sarcasm on play-by-play. He's going to need to focus on what's in the ring. He's going to need to call the action in the ring. He's going to need to be a little bit more story-driven on commentary. But maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's a role that he wants to challenge himself with. And then by his side will be Wade Barrett, who I think is a great color commentator. Wade Barrett is fucking great. He is great. I don't know how you guys feel about Wade Barrett, but I think he's done a phenomenal job on NXT, on SmackDown, and now on Raw. Maybe he's now moving back over to SmackDown. But again, I don't know if Corey Graves is in that play-by-play role. We'll find out on Friday. Michael Cole did it last week because they were all in the Tampa, Florida area getting ready for the Royal Rumble. I know SmackDown was in Miami. But a one-week thing for Michael Cole with everybody on the road already, it's not that big of a deal. Is it going to be Corey Graves and Wade Barrett? Is it going to be Corey Graves and Vic Joseph? And they're both heels. Yes, Mike 43, they're both heel commentators. I don't know. I'm not going to write off Corey Graves at all because Corey Graves is fucking fantastic. Is it going to be Vic Joseph and Corey Graves? I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow if Vic Joseph is on NXT and if someone has taken his spot. Maybe WWE has found somebody else and they're going to have somebody else in Corey Graves. And Wade Barrett's moving back to NXT. I don't know what's going on. I didn't hear any reports. I didn't get any news about this. It was legitimately, we all found out at the same time on Monday night when Pat McAfee showed up. But it's something to keep an eye on. So we will see how WWE alters their commentary teams. I know that Triple H wanted to go back to two-man booths, and I think that's the right move. Two-man booths is the way to go. 3 is a little overcrowded. It's tough to work with 3. I do it with House of Glory. I got Solomonster next to me, and I got my other guy, Dr. Hillary P. Wisdom. It's tough to do 3. Got to give everybody a chance to get their shit in. We make it work because we don't really step on each other's toes. I play by play. Jason's color, he adds a little bit of knowledge to everything. And then Dr. Hillary P. Wisdom is more of a heel commentator, so he's shitting on both of the babyface commentators, me and Jason, and he's also very pro-heel. He's a fan of all the heels, so it's easy to kind of work alongside those different aspects. That's why I wish AEW would go back to two-man booths. Sometimes you hear Kevin Kelly, who's a play-by-play guy. Then you got Tony Schiavone, who is a play-by-play and a color guy. Then you got Taz out there, or Nigel McGuinness. And then you got Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Taz on AEW Dynamite. It's like, holy shit, man, two-man booths is the way to go. I don't know why we can't get Ian Riccaboni and Nigel McGuinness on Saturday nights. I don't know why we can't get Excalibur and Taz on Wednesday nights. I don't know why we need three-man booths. I mean, it's so passé. It's so old school. Like, it's old. It's a thing of the past. WWE tried it for years. It was awful. So it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye out for. How WWE alters their NXT commentary teams and Friday Night SmackDown's commentary teams. So we'll see what happens. Punk. He walked out. His arm is in a sling. He looked obviously distraught and disheartened. And there's been rumors all over social media, said Michael Cole, about a possible Punk injury during the Royal Rumble match. McAfee said it was at first difficult to believe he was hurt given how he performed. And that is a shoot. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Punk looks old. Now everybody knows he was working with a torn tricep. He entered at number 27 in the Royal Rumble, and he battled Cody Rhodes for at least 12 minutes. At least. As the final 2. Fans chanted CM Punk. He looked up at the WrestleMania sign. He was obviously sad. He said he came really close, and he's not mad at anybody. He said Cody earned his win, and he says he hopes Cody finishes his story at WrestleMania. He said Cody winning the Royal Rumble twice is kind of like the Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup. Punk says he's never believed in luck, but he feels he's a bit unlucky. He said in the course of the Rumble, he tore his right tricep. He said he asked if he could make it to the Elimination Chamber and try to win it there and get a main event slot at WrestleMania. He said it's not in the cards. He says he didn't want anyone to feel sorry for him. He says he's bummed out because his goal since he was a little kid was to main event WrestleMania, and maybe that is just not going to ever happen. He says he has a friend, close friend named Chad Gilbert, whom he thinks about a lot every single day, and he's had cancer for a long time. He says he has a beautiful wife and children who sit with him as he gets chemotherapy. I sit with him when he gets chemotherapy, and this is when he got teary-eyed, because this was a real-life instance. He says he's always in a good mood and never down about it. He says it's soul-crushing. He said that's a fight, whereas he has a mere flesh wound. So he doesn't always win. He asks fans if they saw him fight in UFC. He says it didn't do great, but he had a dream and an opportunity, and he said yes because it scared the shit out of him. Punk was crying at this point, which made me kind of get teary-eyed because I looked at Punk cutting this promo, and you could see how much this moment from the Rumble to the Chamber to WrestleMania meant to CM Punk. He says he was scared of being back after 10 years in a place he never wanted to leave but had to. He said WrestleMania is a goal that might haunt him for the rest of his life, but this is just a bump in the road. He says he happens to entertain fans. For some reason, you people love me. Same thing I kind of feel about myself, man. I'm not the most popular guy in this space, honestly. I do my own thing. I march to the beat of my own drum. I do my own thing. We look different. We sound different. We are different. A lot of people nowadays don't like honesty. A lot of people don't like people up front with them. A lot of people don't like real. Everybody wants to paint a picture of positivity, and a lot of people want to paint a picture of, let's do what's right, and let's talk good, and be nice to people, and all this other shit. A lot of people take me for granted. A lot of people think that they know me outside of this space, but they don't. And I feel like sometimes when I get all this negative bullshit thrown at me, I wonder why you guys love me. So it's the same thing. I know exactly how that feels. And he promised he'll keep doing it until the wheels fall off. He says he has overcome adversity in the past. He says he doesn't focus on those who are negative or say he can't because he's not big enough, has stupid hair, or bad-looking tattoos. He said the teachers and firefighters and garbage men wake up and keep going out there to do their job, to put food on their family's table. He said WrestleMania 40 isn't in the cards, but he's a Chicago Cubs fan. So this isn't the first time or the last time he will say there is always next year. He was interrupted by Drew McIntyre's music. Punk said, not what I was expecting over Drew's music. Drew came out and says he has said bad things in the past about CM Punk and thought he was the poison to the locker room that we didn't need. And was a terrible person to him in the past. And he meant all that. But he can relate to what he's saying. He says he can relate to what his buddy Chad is going through as well. Drew's mom, I don't know if you guys know, passed away recently due to cancer. He says he's gone through some changes recently himself. He says he isn't much of a spiritual person, but I prayed for this moment to happen. He pointed at his injured arm. Drew says he targeted Punk. He says he couldn't let him be who won the match. He said Punk eliminated him, and I couldn't sleep that Saturday night. Couldn't sleep over the fact that you eliminated me. He said when he heard the news this morning, he was hurt. And he slept like a baby. Punk was obviously angry when Drew McIntyre said that. Drew said Punk won the battle, but not the war. He says he's exercised the demon of Punk. He says he's going to go on to headline WrestleMania and live CM Punk's dream once again. Punk said his heart hurts more than his tricep, and he's going to rehab, and he's going to come right for Drew. You're the first person I'm coming back for. Drew McIntyre took a swing with Punk standing there in his cast. Punk ducked and then went under Drew. Despite his arm being in a sling, Drew took Punk down and stomped on the cast and on his arm. Sami Zayn came out, charged out for the save. He punched away at Drew, who bailed out. And Michael Cole on commentary called Drew a vile, disgusting, pathetic excuse of a human being. Sami helped Punk stand up, and that's the way the segment came to an end. First of all, the promo that Punk cut was fucking perfect. Number one. He came out, the first thing he said was, congratulations to Cody. Winning the Royal Rumble is an incredible feat. I'm distraught that I didn't win it. I'm upset that I got hurt. I'm not going to WrestleMania to finish my story. But Cody, you go to WrestleMania and you better fucking finish your story. They got that right out of there. One. Wanted to establish that Punk and the promo last week resonated. Sunday morning, I hope that we can still remain friends after the Royal Rumble. Clearly, they're still friends. And clearly, Punk supports Cody finishing his story. That's number one. Number two, the emotion. If you don't think Punk is happy to be back, if you don't think Punk wants this, if you don't think Punk wants to correct the wrongs that has happened in WWE and in AEW, being back here, you're wrong. The emotion in his eyes showed you how important this is to him, how important main eventing WrestleMania is to him, and being the guy. He wants to correct those wrongs. It is important to him. And he will do that, and he will get his moment. Just not this year. Unfortunately. I know this is something we were all hesitant about. I know this is something that was in the back of our minds, buried under the excitement of Seth Rollins and CM Punk at WrestleMania. We all knew that this was a huge possibility. And it's happened. The one thing that we did not want to have happen is the one thing that happened. And nobody could really sit here and blame CM Punk because it happened on a DDT from Drew McIntyre. He will be back. And he will main event WrestleMania next year. Mark my words. Bookmark it. Drew McIntyre is doing the best work that he's done since being back in the WWE. I enjoyed Drew McIntyre as a babyface for a little bit, and then it got repetitive. WWE tried to turn him into this larger-than-life superhero, and at that time, we needed it. But WWE, they didn't really know where else to go with Drew but give us the typical Vince McMahon spoon-fed bullshit like he usually does with his babyfaces. And it grew tiresome. It grew boring. And Drew McIntyre didn't really feel like Drew McIntyre. Now he feels like Drew McIntyre. I feel like this is a role that he is better at. I think this is a role he excels at more so than being a babyface. And this is a new coat of paint on something that just wasn't working anymore. They ran that well dry. His promo was great. He's great in the ring. He's a monster. And he's fucking killing it right now on Monday night, where I usually say every week that Drew McIntyre is one of the best aspects of this 3-hour program. And he is. McIntyre is a free agent. Don't know when his contract is over. We've heard for months that his contract is up after WrestleMania. I don't know what WWE is planning to do. I don't know what Drew is planning to do. But CM Punk challenged Drew McIntyre as soon as he comes back from this triceps injury. I don't know if that means that McIntyre is staying and resigning. I don't know if that means McIntyre has already resigned and they're planting a seed for that match to happen when Punk comes back. And if none of those things have happened, I don't know what WWE is waiting for to sign Drew McIntyre, or at least give him a contract that makes him happy and give him a piece of paper to sign the dotted line. Because right now he's just fucking killing it. It's killing it. If WWE doesn't bring back Drew McIntyre, I think it's going to be a huge mistake. They don't want to let him go. but it's going to be up to what McIntyre wants. McIntyre's going to be paid, no matter what. McIntyre wants creative. And honestly, we could be looking at Drew McIntyre walking into WrestleMania as the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, that wouldn't make it a main event match, but him being the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday night, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that right now. I don't. So CM Punk is hurt. CM Punk is injured. Where do we go from here? Clearly, the match was Rollins and Punk. WWE then pivoted to Gunther and Punk. Or Gunther and Rollins, rather. Not Gunther and Punk, eventually. Gunther and Rollins. They teased that going into the Royal Rumble. They wanted to throw that little asterisk in there. Hey, man, everybody's picking Cody or Punk. Let's throw Gunther in there. He's a believable threat in that Royal Rumble. He is a possible winner here. Wouldn't mind that at all. He was my guy anyway before Punk burst back onto the scene in WWE. But what do we do now going into WrestleMania? The rumor is that Gunther is not going to be at the Elimination Chamber. He's not going to be there because he has visa issues and he's not going to be able to make this trip. I don't know when the visa issues are going to be squared away. For all we know, they are already squared away. We don't know. We haven't heard anything on that, but that's what I keep hearing. He's got visa issues. He's not going to be able to make it to Perth, Australia. If that's the case, WWE could go one of two ways here. One, we could have Gunther challenge Seth Rollins, being that he just constantly continues to go through everybody in the Intercontinental title picture. I don't know why everybody is out here thinking, well, Gunther's not going to be at the chamber, so he can't be in Australia to be in the chamber. So let's put these other guys in there and crown a number one contender. I'll get to that in a second. But if we go Gunther and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, why does Gunther need to be at the Elimination Chamber to win the Elimination Chamber? Why can't WWE just say, you know what? We're not going to do a men's chamber on Monday night or for the Monday Night Raw World Heavyweight Championship. We're not going to do a men's chamber in Australia. We're just going to give it to Gunther. Does he need to win a match? This is the logic I don't get from people. You do realize that he's held the Intercontinental Championship for 600 days. He's beaten everybody. At this stage of the game, realistically, Gunther can say, hey, I'm the number one contender. I hold this Intercontinental title. I've beaten everybody. I'm cashing in. I want my title shot. I deserve it more than anybody. Are you going to tell him he's wrong? I don't think you're going to tell him he's wrong. If Gunther wants a championship match at WrestleMania because he's held the Intercontinental title for 600 days and nobody has beaten him, here you go, bro. Go ahead. They could do that. WWE can hold a tournament and Gunther can win the tournament. If you don't want to just give him a championship match, which I'm not really for a tournament. I don't think they're going to go that route. I've been calling for Gunther, Intercontinental Champion, and Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion. I've been calling for this for weeks now. So if it does happen, you know where you heard it first, because I've been the only one that's been asking for that. Is that a bad match for WrestleMania? No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it takes the IC title away from somebody else at WrestleMania, takes the IC title off the card at WrestleMania, but Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship away from Rollins and ending night one holding up both the World Heavyweight Championship and the Intercontinental Championship sounds like a damn great WrestleMania moment for me and for him and for all of us. And if there's one guy that deserves that, it's Gunther. So don't scoff at that idea. Do I think WWE does that? No, I don't think they do that. What I do think they do is I do think we get an Elimination Chamber. I do. I think we get Drew McIntyre. I think we get Jey Uso. I think we get Sami Zayn. I think we get Andrade, who just signed to Monday Night Raw. I think we get guys like that. Bronson Reed, who's Australian. He'll be in that match as well. Him and Jey Uso have vowed to win a singles championship this year. So why not give the Elimination Chamber a stab? Ricochet can go in there. Any number of those guys can go in there. The Elimination Chamber will probably be the match that determines Seth Rollins' opponent at WrestleMania. And by the list of names that I gave you, Drew McIntyre will probably get Seth Rollins again at WrestleMania. And I would have Drew McIntyre take the title off of Seth Rollins and walk out of WrestleMania as the new World Heavyweight Champion. That's what I would do. That could be the main event night one of WrestleMania 40. Then at that point, what do we do with Damian Priest? Damian Priest can cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and Damian Priest could become the new World Heavyweight Champion if you want to go that route. Making that the second Money in the Bank cash in at WrestleMania, because he is still a factor here, whether you agree with him winning the championship or not. He still has the briefcase, and he is still a factor. Out of all those options, or out of those two options, I should say, I am leaning towards, I would say, it's tough. I want to see Gunther crowned the world champion. I do. There's something about that just resonates with me greatly. He wins both championships. He drops the IC title on the Raw after Mania. We get a title tournament that ends at Backlash in France. And Andrade and Chad Gable are the final two guys in the Intercontinental title tournament, with Chad Gable winning the IC title. But why don't you have Gunther drop the title to somebody and pass the torch? Nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves it. I said this last week. You think that Chad Gable deserves it? I love Gable dearly. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you he deserves to beat Gunther for the IC title. Nobody deserves to beat Gunther. Nobody. Gunther giving up the championship is not a bad idea. Had some geeks. Oh, you want Gunther to do the same thing like Samoa Joe did with the Ring of Honor TV title? I'm sorry, how many people saw Samoa Joe defend that TV title on national television? Can probably count on one fucking hand how many times he defended that title on national television. It's not the same thing. It's not. Don't sit here and compare Samoa Joe giving up the Ring of Honor TV title to Gunther giving up the Intercontinental title. Samoa Joe's not winning another title. Samoa Joe gave up the TV title to go challenge MJF for a title he didn't have yet. It's not the same thing. Gunther would win the World Heavyweight Championship, and by default, he's not going to be able to defend both, so he gives up the one that he's not going to defend. There's only 100. How many characters? We got unlimited characters now. I pay for Twitter Blue. It's not even worth my fucking time and energy to defend these fucking stupid takes that I hear on social media. Firefighter Jimmy, yes, someone deserves to take that title. When you can come up with somebody that deserves it, I'd love to hear who that name is. There is nobody. There is nobody. Unless WWE goes with Seth and Drew, Gunther doesn't go to the Elimination Chamber, and Gunther defends the Intercontinental Championship, I have this sneaking suspicion that this Imperium and New Day feud is going to yield a Big E return. Does WWE have Big E lined up to take the title off of Gunther? I mean, if that's the case, I'm okay with that. I am. Big E, the equalizer, to get back at Imperium by defending the New Day. 3-on-3. And then we get Big E challenging Gunther for the IC title. I haven't seen or heard of that being the plan yet. I don't know when Big E would come back to TV or if he's ready to come back to TV. So I haven't given you that option. But it's there. It's there if WWE wants to take that route. Outside that, I don't know who else. Who else? Gunther versus Okada. You want Okada to come in and do what against Gunther? Beat Gunther? No, Okada's not wrestling Gunther. Okada's going to AEW. He's not joining WWE. There is nobody else. There is nobody else. There is no other option there. Sami Zayn? Is that an option? Again, I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't mind that. But they haven't told that story yet. They haven't begun to tell that story yet. I don't really like that match now. I think I wait for that. I think that is a true, honest to God, true David versus Goliath match that we do at next year's WrestleMania. That's what we do. I'm all in on that match. I'm all in on Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at next year's WrestleMania. Because by that time, Gunther's going to be the world champion anyway. The only other option, and I don't even want to see this because I just have a sneaking suspicion that WWE would pull the trigger on it. The only other option outside of the ones that I mentioned for Gunther would be Jey Uso. Do you want to see Jey Uso and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship? WWE's been on this narrative. Jey Uso is going to win his first singles title this year. Well, he's not going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I'll tell you that right now. Is he going to be the one to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania? That's also something I could see them doing, but I'm not really ready to see that be the end of Gunther's reign. Some people are mentioning Braun Breaker after the back and forth that they had in the Royal Rumble. After what we saw tonight, Braun Breaker may be going to SmackDown. So we don't know if that's the case yet. Gunther's plans got blown up because Brock Lesnar was supposedly and allegedly in the court documents named by Janelle Grant. So we don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see what road Triple H ends up taking here, but he's got options. He's got options. Is it Punk versus Rollins? Is it going to be as big or as great as that? No, it's not. But the man does have options. He's got depth. He's got the talent to make this work and still give us a memorable WrestleMania. It's the great thing about what he's done with this roster. Moments like this. Tony Khan's done it as well. How many injuries has Tony Khan had to go through? Devastating injuries. MJF and Kenny Omega and Adam Cole are all out. But still, every time the man puts on a pay-per-view, it's always a banger show. WWE, look at the roster that Triple H has developed for himself and built for himself. Seth Rollins is injured right now, questionable. We don't know what's going on with him. CM Punk is out, both on the same brand. Kevin Owens has a fractured foot. Yet Triple H is still going to give us some incredible matches with the roster depth that he has. So whichever road he takes, he's got options. We laid them out here for you right here. So we will see what happens. Judgment Day. They were backstage, hanging out together. Dominic said that if Bayley is dumb enough to show her face tonight, it's nothing to sweat. Bayley is wanted to challenge Rhea Ripley and go forward with their damage control plans going into WrestleMania. Ripley said she wants them to show everyone who they are and not let distractions get in their way. Damian Priest said, "Oh yeah, we will. We're done with distractions." He says they'll show the world just how vicious they are. Backstage, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa walked through the backstage area and on into Gorilla, talking about showing the world who exactly they are. and they made their way out to the ring for the WWE Tag Team title match against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. This was a very good match. I thought this was an awesome match. Crowd really bought into the near falls down the stretch here. I was hoping that we'd get new tag team champions crowned. Finn Balor and Damian Priest end up retaining the titles against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in about 13 minutes. Balor tagged himself in. Gargano took out Priest with a slingshot DDT. Ciampa hit Balor with an air raid crash off the second rope for a near fall. DIY hit Balor with a meet them in the middle, but Priest pulled Balor's leg underneath the rope for the referee to break the count. Balor hit Gargano with a slingshot and a shotgun dropkick. Gargano laying down in the drop zone. Finn Balor goes up top. He tries for the coup de grace, but he missed. Gargano quickly escapes and applies a Gargano escape. Ciampa also put Priest in a Gargano escape, and this is basically a signature for DIY. They've done this several times throughout their tag team history. Priest hoisted Ciampa up and dropped him on Gargano to break up the submission. That was a great spot. So both of these guys were in the Gargano escape, and Priest powered him up to stand back to a vertical base and then threw him on top of Gargano to break the hold that he had on Balor. At this point, everyone's trading strikes back and forth. Priest dropped Ciampa with a thrust kick. Priest dropped Gargano onto the announce table with a flatliner before Ciampa caught Priest with a small package. I thought that was the end of the match. With Priest dropping Gargano onto the announce table with a flatliner, he goes back into the ring and gets caught with a small package by Ciampa. I thought DIY was going to win the titles right there. Very, very close near fall. Gargano's out of the match now because he got taken out by Priest. Priest hit Ciampa with the razor's edge. Balor finished him with the coup de grace off the top rope for the 1-2-3, and DIY fail at winning the tag team titles. Excellent match. Probably the best match of the entire night. Crowd was into it down the stretch. No interference, no fluff, straight up 2-on-2. Great competitive tag team match with Judgment Day basically asserting their dominance and making Rhea Ripley happy, going out there and showing everybody who exactly they are and why they run Monday Night Raw. Good. Ciampa and Gargano, you see how great they are as a tag team. I was hoping that we get new tag team champions, and this would be the slow deterioration of Judgment Day. I think everybody wants to see that story play out. And additionally, I think people want to see the tag team titles once again split. One set of titles on Raw, one set of titles on SmackDown. I don't necessarily think we're at that point yet. I don't think we need, even still, I don't think we need two sets of tag team championships, but that just may be me. You guys might agree with me. You guys might not agree with me. I don't know why we need two sets of tag team titles. I don't think there's enough teams on either show to warrant a set of tag team titles before it slowly gets repetitive. I was hoping that they would win here, but this is just the beginning. Can't give away such a big moment to them on a random Monday night in Tampa. Triple H loves these guys so much. I think they're going to get the big star treatment. I think they're going to get the big moment. Whether it happens at the Chamber, whether it happens at WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know when it happens. But I just feel sooner rather than later, Judgment Day is going to lose those tag team championships. I feel sooner rather than later, DIY are going to be the recipients of winning those tag team titles. I think they are going to be great flag bearers for the tag team division. And at that point, I think we need to make a statement and a change on where we're going with the tag team titles. Are we getting two sets of titles, or are we getting one universal set of titles that float between Raw and SmackDown? Because I still think that's the right way to go about it. Excellent match. After the match was over, Dominic Mysterio and J.D. McFlurry is out there. They ran out to celebrate. Priest is on the microphone and says they owe him, R-Truth, an apology. Called him out there. So Priest, he tells R-Truth to come out and He's standing in the ring. Crowd loves R-Truth. Priest said lately they've seen a different side of the Judgment Day. He says it's someone everyone in the ring owes an apology to. Out comes R-Truth. R-Truth was a bit leery about getting in the ring with all the members of the Judgment Day because they don't like him. And he was beaten up by Damian Priest in the Royal Rumble, so he's a little leery at this point. Priest promised him that he's safe. Truth entered and asked everyone to rise for the Judgment Day. Truth said, I don't usually do this that well because, I'm happy. And Damian Priest is not happy when he says that line. Truth says he relocated his share of the merch money to crypto, and he filed his taxes and liquidated all of Damian Priest's assets, so he's good to go. Priest then said, there's no way you know what any of that means. I laughed. Priest said, the Judgment Day is family. Truth said Priest is like his older brother. But R-Truth is 10 years older than Damian Priest, so I don't know how that works, but he said Balor is like that weird uncle who is unpredictable, but they still love him. He said regarding Dominic, and he didn't really say Dominic, he mentioned Tom and Nick, and then they booed Dominic, the crowd did. He said JD, he's like the stepbrother that got into the family, and they don't know why he's a part of the family. They don't want him there. Priest laughed and told Truth, listen, you got to let me finish talking. He told Truth that you're not a part of Judgment Day. You were never a part of Judgment Day. But I like you, and I've always liked you. I think you're funny. That's why I'm not going to be the one to do this. McDonough then hit Truth from behind. They beat the shit out of R-Truth. The Miz comes out. He tried to make the save. He gets taken out, and the Judgment Day stand tall. So, Priest here, he was kind of befriending R-Truth in the beginning. And he was tolerating R-Truth and laughing with R-Truth and accepting his antics and letting him have some, have his fun. But this seemed to close the chapter on R-Truth and Damian Priest. And Damian Priest is now all business. He realizes that for the Judgment Day to succeed, we got to get rid of this bullshit and we got to focus on winning. No more fun and games. But it looks like where I wanted DIY to win the tag team titles, it looks like we may end up getting Damian Priest and his leadership and how serious the Judgment Day is. I think this is all leading to Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus R-Truth and The Miz for the tag team championships. Whether that happens at the Chamber or whether that happens at WrestleMania, I don't know. I would assume that we get that match to happen at the Chamber. That's where they lose the championships. And then that's where we get the split of Damian Priest from the Judgment Day, which then would lead to the rumored match that we've all been pushing and predicting of Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania. I don't know. Or if you want to do Damian Priest and I don't know who else in the Judgment Day versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Priest and Dominic versus JD and Finn Balor. And Judgment Day is just completely split. Either one of those options work for me. But it looks like R-Truth and The Miz may be the next in line for the tag team titles. So we'll see what happens there. But R-Truth and the antics of R-Truth are not going to be meddling in Judgment Day business anymore. And I know you guys are probably sad about that. Chelsea Green. She got her entrance back. Samantha Irving is now doing the Chelsea Green. I don't know why it went away. Clearly somebody didn't like it. I guarantee you it was the Beaver who didn't like it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it was a Kevin Dunn production cue. Oh no, We can't have Samantha do that. Would. Guarantee it was a Kevin Dunn. As soon as Kevin Dunn went away, goodbye. Back to doing the Chelsea Green intro. Tag team match here with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Who gives a shit? Who gives a flying fuck? Baszler and Stark win in 2 minutes. Stark gave Green a Z360 for the win. Ask me if I care. No, I don't. Cody came out and he got his entrance. They gave us 2 woes tonight. Cody's in the ring. It's time to hear from the back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. Fans chanted, "You deserve it," at Cody Rhodes. Does he? Does he deserve it? I don't know. That's up for interpretation. I don't know. He asked Tampa, "What do you guys want to talk about?" He said he heard something that was music to his ears. He looked over at Samantha Irvin, and he asked her to do that thing one more time. She smiled, and she introduced Cody again as the 2023 and 2024 Royal Rumble winner. Cody said the expectation is on them to give them 3 hours of action and help them escape from their worries. He said sometimes they need to escape as well as professional wrestlers. So the last 48 hours were challenging for him. Sounded like he also was going to cry here by mentioning how difficult his life was in the last 48 hours. On Saturday, you will never know how much I needed all of you, he said. And he got choked up. He didn't really elaborate on what was bothering him or why his 48 hours were difficult. He said it's time to make WrestleMania official. Well, he did kind of make it official because at the end of the Royal Rumble, he pointed up to Roman Reigns, and we were left with that lasting picture at the end of Saturday night's show. As soon as he mentioned he wanted to make WrestleMania official, out comes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is gingerly walking out down the aisle. No crutches or anything. That's a good sign, I guess. The fact that he could walk out on his own and get in the ring on his own. Seth is in the ring. Seth said Tampa is right. Cody does deserve it. He says they haven't always seen eye to eye. And Seth said, I think we have come to a mutual respect for one another. But I think it would be a mistake for you to challenge Roman Reigns. And you should fight me at WrestleMania instead. Fans then mostly chanted no. Nobody wants to see this match again. Seth says he just wanted to be heard. Let me explain. I just want to be heard. He said, Cody, you say you're the guy. He said at the post-show press conference, I heard you say that you are the guy. Seth Rollins said Cody is not the guy. Roman Reigns is not the guy anymore. He said his title is the title in the WWE now. So last year, it made sense. He went after Roman Reigns, but that was when there was only one champion. He does make a point there. WWE did not introduce the World Heavyweight Championship until that May, where Rollins beat Styles in the finals of the World Title Tournament to crown the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. So the landscape has changed since then. He said he knows he's been thinking about Roman for the last year. He says they've been on the road together, they ride together, they make the towns together, town after town, city after city. And then he asked him who was in the main event through all of that. It sure as hell wasn't Roman Reigns. He said the title being defended wasn't the Universal Heavyweight Championship. It was the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth asked Cody if he remembered why the title came to be. He says it was because the people were sick and tired of Roman showing up every week and then every month and then every 6 months. Never defending the title and cheating every opportunity he had to be an honorable man. He said this title is for us and made by us. He says they built it up through broken bones and an injured knee. He says they don't need to pretend Reigns is on some untouchable pedestal anymore, and they don't need Roman at all anymore. He asked, what title do you want? Do you want the Hollywood title? Do you want the Hulk Hogan title? The one for posers and frauds who politic their way to the top? Or do you want the Dusty Rhodes title? The Workhorse Championship? The Blue Collar Championship? Because that's what the World's Heavyweight Championship means. He says it's about who is the best between the ropes. Seth asked Cody to think about it and not give him an answer right away. He asks what kind of man he wants to be. Cody says he has an insane amount of respect for him. He says he didn't expect to be talking about this or even thinking about this after Saturday night. But let me tell you this. I'll think about it. Cody Rhodes walked away. You know, this is not the first time that Seth Rollins has touted himself as the fighting champion, the workhorse champion, the champion. This is WrestleMania season. Seth Rollins wants the main event of WrestleMania. He hasn't said that on air per story, but he wants that. And he knows that by going through Cody, he gets that, and Cody gets what he wants as well. Seth Rollins cut an amazing promo. This might have been the best Seth Rollins promo that he's cut maybe ever. Everybody may go back and listen to the first promo we cut on Punk. I think this one topped that promo. But I'm going to have to be honest with you guys. Rollins can sit there and politic all he wants to Cody Rhodes. He can sit there and politic all he wants to the fan base. Rollins can sit there and pretend to say the title that he holds is the title. It's the Workhorse Championship. It's been built through broken bones, blood and sweat, city after city, town after town. I've been in the main event every single night defending this championship. Roman has not. We don't know if he's going to show up every month, every other month, every 6 months. We don't know. We don't need Roman Reigns anymore. I have put everything into this title to make it the title in this company. Rollins can wrap all that up into a nice box and put a pretty little bow on it. But at the end of the day, as long as Roman Reigns is the champion, this title will look like a consolation prize. Everybody's like, Cody Rhodes is going to choose Seth Rollins now, and Roman is going to get The Rock. That way we get Cody in a main event, and Roman and Rock in the other main event. No! No. Everybody says, what difference does it make? Cody's going to finish his story. This was WWE's way of embellishing that Cody can finish his story. Let Seth Rollins go out there and mention Dusty. This is Dusty's title. Fuck off. Get out of here. This isn't the title. You might not think that the title here matters, because you're blinded by what Vince wanted you to believe for 3 fucking years. Why did they create the Universal Championship? So Roman Reigns can be in the record books as the longest reigning Universal Champion. They can't get rid of the WWE Championship and all of its lineage. The record books indicate the WWE Championship. WWE somehow has managed to merge the Universal Championship into the WWE Championship. But at the end of the day, the Universal title was created by Vince McMahon so that Roman Reigns can stand atop a record book all to himself. The title that matters here is the title that has been buried behind the Universal title. That's the title that matters. The World Heavyweight Championship is not a title that Cody Rhodes is going to go out there and challenge at WrestleMania for. Why would he? There's no lineage to this championship. This is not the championship that his father held up all those many years ago at Madison Square Garden. That's not the title. The title that he seeks is the World Wrestling Entertainment, World Wrestling Federation Championship. That's the title. So before you guys jump to conclusions about Roman and Rock and Night 2 and Cody and Seth Night 1, you are watching a Paul Levesque Triple H production. Vince has done this before in the past as well. Why give away all of your secrets? Why give away all of your recipes in one fucking night? Why? Why show your cards so early in the game? You should be at the poker table with the glasses on, watching everybody else make their fucking mistakes along the way, and you just sit there cool, calm, and collected. WWE wants to add a little bit of intrigue. They want to add a little drama. They want to add a little unpredictability. Now that CM Punk is not going to be in the main event, which we all expected him to win the Chamber anyway and challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, WWE is going to long play this now. They're going to drag this out for just a little bit and have Cody at the end choose Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins is going to have his opponent named in February after the Elimination Chamber is over. Yes, I know he pointed to Roman Reigns on Saturday night, and I know that's all everybody's talking about. But Cody is going to finish his story. If you don't like it, tough shit. I don't give a shit what you think about Cody Rhodes. I don't give a shit how you feel about Cody and his run. I don't give a shit what you look at when you look at Cody Rhodes. Oh, they're taking a plunger and they're jamming it down our throats, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble for a second year in a row. There's only a handful of guys that could say that they own that record, and Cody will finish his story. Cody did not win the Royal Rumble to main event night 1 for a secondary consolation prize that was created because they gave the 2 other world titles to Roman Reigns to hold on to for 4 years. Cody's not challenging Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship when the WWE title is the title. Do you want to know why Cody Rhodes needs to beat Roman Reigns? So that Roman Reigns and this run that we're on is over. So that we get 2 workhorse championships. What good? What good would Cody be doing to the WWE if he beats Rollins? Has anybody thought about that? What good would it do? He's already beat Rollins 3 times. You want him to beat him again for a 4th time? You think Seth Rollins doesn't want that win back? Why would Cody want to take Rollins' title off of him when Rollins is the type of champion that Cody knows this company needs? Taking the title off of Rollins to put it on Cody would still leave Roman as the world champion. There should be one mission. There should be one objective here. Take the title from Roman. Cody goes over to SmackDown, and we get Cody and Seth Rollins as 2 full-time workhorse heavyweight champions. If Cody beats Rollins, Roman's still the champion. WWE will be better off when Roman is not the champion. Why do you think any other decision or creative move makes sense? Nobody thinks. This is WWE adding a little dash of unpredictability. Oh, but I thought Cody was going to challenge Roman. He is. He is. They got 8 weeks. What good does this do now, 8 weeks from now, if Cody challenges Roman Reigns now? He can challenge him 3 weeks from now when we get to the Elimination Chamber. Who gives a shit? Cody's not going to challenge Rollins. Cody's challenging Roman. And for all the people still hung up on Rock and Roman, oh my God, it needs to happen at WrestleMania. It will. It will. I don't think we're getting one match out of this. I don't think we're getting one match out of this. I think this is going to be what The Rock said it was. I think it's going to be the long game. I think we're going to get multiple matches out of this. I think we're going to get this match taking place at WrestleMania in the main event of WrestleMania. If it doesn't go multiple matches, I'd be shocked. If we do one match, fine. But the one match doesn't need to be for the World Championship. Because why would The Rock need to beat Roman to win the World Championship? Who wants that? Why do you want that match? You know, you do realize that if that match takes place this year, that it will be for the World Championship. Why do you want Roman to beat The Rock and retain the World Championship at WrestleMania this year? Do you know how negative of a feeling going off the air WrestleMania will feel if Roman is still the champion? The match doesn't need the title. You do realize that with the championship, it's only a one-sided match. Roman wins. If the match is not for the championship and the title is not on the line, not in the picture, not in the story, and it's just for the tribal chief title or the head of the table, then it makes it a little bit more unpredictable. We don't need to do it this year. The best case scenario here, and I don't believe I have to explain this again, Rock will be wrestling Roman. He's not doing it this year. Cody will beat Roman. Cody will have to go through the bloodline. We're going to see the same thing happen again like we saw at 39. Who do you think is going to be there to stand tall and help Cody win? Solo Sikoa is coming down the aisle. The Rock is going to be there to stop Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso is going to be there. He's going to stop Jimmy Uso. Cody is going to have a one-on-one match because of The Rock, whether he's an enforcer, whether he's a referee, whether he's whatever, whether he comes down out of nowhere and helps Cody win. That will set up Rock and Roman at WrestleMania next year. 41. You don't think the Netflix deal has anything to do with that either? You can guarantee that Netflix paying $5 billion for Monday Night Raw. You know that WWE is going to want a global juggernaut like Netflix to have The Rock all over their show. Again, I ask, you want this match to be built exactly when? Coming out of the chamber? With 6 weeks to go? Doesn't really scream long game for Rock there. Rock says he's a long gamer. That's not a long game. It's not a long game at all. Doesn't need to happen this year. You can get by with Rollins McIntyre, Rollins Gunther, whatever the fuck you want to do for the World Championship. There is plenty to keep Rollins occupied. Cody and Roman is the story. Cody wins the WWE Championship. Cody goes to SmackDown. Cody and Rollins. Depending on if Rollins wins the championship and retains the title, I don't know. But we'll have two workhorse champions no matter who is the champion. McIntyre, Gunther, Zayn. I don't know why anybody thinks that because Seth came out there and made a great case for Cody to challenge him, that Cody's going to say, you know what, you're right. Let me take the Plan D title. Fuck out of here. How many people I've seen throughout the year, oh, it doesn't matter about the title, it'll finish his story anyway. No, you're a fucking idiot. The title is the story, not Seth's title. Jey Uso. Sami Zayn will be a world champion. Yes. Not this year. Sami Zayn will be a world champion. Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. This went 9 minutes. Nice little match, these two guys here. I love Bronson Reed. Jey Uso's got the best. Jey Uso's probably got the best entrance in all WWE. Mega hype. He beats big man Bronson Reed here. 9 minutes. We go to a quick commercial break. Jey fought back after the break. Good flying crossbody. Barely got a 2 count on big Bronson Reed. Reed blocked an enziguri. Hit a senton for 2. Reed no-sold a super kick. Jey hit 2 more super kicks. Knocks the big man down. 2 count. Reed avoided the Uso splash and hit a devastating Death Valley driver for a 2 count on Uso. Uso then is in trouble. Bronson Reed goes up top. He's going for the tsunami attempt. I'm going to miss Wade Barrett's call of the tsunami on Monday night. Jey avoided the tsunami. Nobody was home. Jey hits a super kick, spear, Uso splash, 1, 2, 3, pins Bronson Reed. Fun little match. Went about 9-10 minutes or so, and Jey Uso is on his way to winning a singles championship. That's the narrative. What title is that? I don't know. I don't know. Will it be against Gunther? Will it be a vacant IC title at some point? I don't know. But that is the narrative. That is the story they are telling here. Andrade. Andrade's on Raw. He signed a Raw contract. Adam Pearce signs El Idolo to a WWE Raw deal. In walked Nick Aldis. Pierce proudly gloated to Aldis that Andrade is his newest signing to Monday Night Raw. Aldis said SmackDown had a very handsome contract for him. Pierce said, well, we're quicker on the trigger. Andrade left. He told Nick Aldis, say hello to Zelina for me. The OGs know. The OG black and gold NXT fans know. Aldis said to Pierce, listen, I loaned you Bayley so you could have both winners on Raw, right? And this is how you treat me? Pierce said, it's just business. Aldis says he wanted to talk about the chamber. I wonder what's going to happen there. I wonder if it's going to be a dual chamber. He said he wanted to talk to Pierce about the chamber, so that got everybody's ears perked up. SmackDown going to be a part of the Elimination Chamber. We don't know yet. Aldis' phone rang, and he told Adam Pearce, yeah, I'll get back to you. I got Braun Breaker on the phone. And he walks away. Hey, Braun, how you doing, man? What's going on there, buddy? WWE teasing that Braun Breaker is headed to SmackDown. I don't give a shit where the fuck he goes. Get that man on the main roster now. Long overdue. Gunther. He expressed appreciation for Kofi Kingston challenging him and the IC title. He says he's fighting for his legacy and he will remember this night for the rest of his life. He said after tonight, he'll forget about the match and carry on being the longest reigning and greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Kofi stood no chance. I don't know why anybody thought Kofi would stand the chance against Gunther. Jackie Redmond interviewed Becky Lynch. She asked what her plan B was after not winning the Royal Rumble. Becky said she let a lot of people down on Saturday. She said she's not giving up, so she'll train a little bit harder and think a little smarter and fight a little dirtier and do not stop until she takes the title back into the main event of WrestleMania. You know, I'm always honest with you guys. Always. If WWE gives us a World Heavyweight Championship match of a McIntyre versus Rollins or something along those lines, WWE now has opened up for the women to potentially main event WrestleMania. WWE could realistically do Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley in the main event of WrestleMania if they wanted. Now, Bayley won the Royal Rumble, so we could see Bayley versus Io in the main event. I don't know if they will go that route, but Becky and Rhea is a big enough match where it could main event any show. So maybe, I don't know. She did say main event of WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. That was not going to happen if Punk and Rollins was still on the card. So WWE could potentially main event night one of WrestleMania with Becky and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. That remains to be seen, but it is a possibility. Just a small one. Possibility nonetheless. Gunther. He went one-on-one with Kofi Kingston here. Intercontinental Championship match. Another banger by Gunther. The man is a national treasure. He is awesome. This match went 15 minutes and through 2 commercial breaks. This was a brutal match. Kofi got his ass beaten tonight. And there were a couple of nasty spots in this one. My God. Gunther applied a Boston Crab, and they went right into a commercial break within like a minute of the match. Gunther dominated for a little bit. Kingston fired back with a forearm. Gunther cut him off with a neck breaker. Gunther applied a Boston Crab again, and they went back to another commercial break, again with the Boston Crab, with the move still applied on Kofi. Kingston went for a dive. When we get back, Gunther caught him, and this was the first nasty spot of the night. Gunther's on the outside by the commentary desk, and Kofi Kingston does a dive through the rope, suicide dive. Gunther catches him and picks him up in a double choke slam, grabs him by the throat. I don't know where Kofi's head hit. I don't know what part of Kofi's backside hit the apron, but I'm like, holy fucking shit. Gunther launched Kofi on the ring apron, and I swear to God, it looked like the back of Kofi's head hit the fucking ring apron. I thought, this guy's finished. I thought we got another fucking neck injury here in the New Day. Referee went to quickly check on him. Kofi got up. He was all right, thank God. But my God, man, what a nasty, nasty spot. Ridiculous. So Kingston managed to drive Gunther into the ring post after this with consecutive suicide dives to follow. Gunther popped back into the ring. Kingston fought him off and caught him with a trouble in paradise, but Gunther rolled out of the ring before Kingston could make the cover here. Gunther was then draped over the steel steps on the outside because he had rolled to the outside. He was taking a breather. Kingston jumps on top of the barricade and hits an elbow drop off the barricade, followed by a diving leg drop off the top, back in the ring for a 2 count. Gunther blocked a Trouble in Paradise and tried for another Boston Crab, but Kingston countered into a cradle for 2. Gunther hit a clothesline. Kingston reversed another clothesline into an SOS for a near fall. Kofi went up top and delivered a senton. I mean, this was the other spot. All of his weight came crushing down right on Gunther's face and chest. Gunther looked like he had the wind knocked out of him for a little bit, but Kofi made a cover. He got a 2 count. We got a "This is awesome" chant, and Gunther hit a clothesline, his big gargantuan drop kick, and a power bomb, and Gunther goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And that was it. Gunther retains the IC title. Excellent match. Minus those 2 scary spots. Masterclass by Gunther. He is absolutely untouchable. He is unstoppable. He's incredible. This guy is your next world champion. Easy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just get used to it. It's going to happen. I don't know who beats him. I don't know who deserves to beat him. I don't know if there is anybody. We can name names. Jey Uso is at the top of the list. Big E. I have a feeling this is leading to Big E because what happened after the match, I just have a feeling that this is going to open the door for Big E to come on in. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Woods checked on Kingston post-match. They were attacked, laid out by Kaiser and Vinci in a brutal attack. Gunther was very pleased that the New Day was laid out. I thought Big E was going to show up tonight. It just feels like Big E is getting ready to come back and save his friends and equal the playing field against Imperium. It just feels like it. Who else is going to be there to even the playing field? Jey Uso? Doesn't really feel the same. We could be looking at Big E versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you want him to drop the title, I'm okay with that. Then we get Seth and McIntyre. What Sami does at WrestleMania, that remains to be seen. I don't know. But this was great. Excellent match by these two. Jackie Redmond interviewed Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says he couldn't stay on the sidelines after McIntyre targeted not only himself, but CM Punk and others. McIntyre pointed the finger at everyone, and Zayn planned on giving him a reality check. WWE played Jade Cargill's performance at the Royal Rumble back on a video package. We'll get into Jade in a second. Non-title match. Asuka and Kairi Sane defeated Natalya and Tegan Nox. Nobody gave a shit. Asuka and Kairi Sane retained the titles. Who cares? The women's tag team titles are absolutely fucking worthless. It doesn't matter who they're on. Nobody cares. There's only 2 teams in the entire division. 2. 3. And one of them, I would say, is not over at all. The other one is barely over. And Asuka and Kairi Sane are the most notable names. Outside that, there is no division. I will say the same thing about the women's tag team titles as I have the last 5 years. Doesn't matter. Crowd didn't give a shit. Kabuki Warriors win in about 10 minutes. Dakota Kai and Io Sky joined Asuka and Sane in the ring ahead of Bayley's entrance and her major announcement. Bayley was about to announce what she was going to do at WrestleMania and what title she was going after. So, Bayley told the fans that they better take a picture. We'll pose for you. Take a picture so everyone could take a photo of them. She said there's never been an instance before of a Royal Rumble winner, a women's champion, and the women's tag team champions in the ring together. Bayley said she vowed that Damage Control would take over and predicted that, or everybody predicted that they would flop. She said she didn't listen to the doubters, and now she stands there tall and proud. She touted lasting over 63 minutes in the Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley comes out, and Ripley asked if Bayley thinks she's accomplished anything. She said, yeah, that's cute. She told Bayley that if I was in the Royal Rumble, you wouldn't have made it to 63 minutes. And if you choose me at WrestleMania, you are not going to win the title in Philadelphia. Nia Jax steamrolled over Rhea Ripley in the aisleway. Damage Control was in the ring, pointed and laughed at Rhea Ripley getting destroyed by Nia Jax. Ripley fought back at ringside, and Nia Jax threw Rhea Ripley into the ring. She knocked Ripley down with a big body press and then landed 3 drop kicks on the champion. Jax then hit the Annihilator in the corner and squashed Rhea Ripley. Damage Control was not smiling at this point. They left Bayley alone in the ring. Jax got in Bayley's face, and she told her to pick Io or anyone else because Rhea Ripley isn't making it to WrestleMania. Bayley said, well, you didn't let me finish. I'm going to announce my WrestleMania match on Friday. I don't think we get it on Friday either. I will say this, and no, I'm not drunk. No, I'm not stoned. No, I am not. I didn't have aliens take over my body or anything of that nature. I am going to give Nia Jax praise here. Somebody clip it. Somebody bookmark it. Somebody highlight it. Somebody post it on social media so that when I die, there will be reference of this. Nia Jax and her booking has been spot on. Got to give credit where credit is due, man. I'm a fair, analytical content creator on the WWE product. Is Nia Jax the best women's pro wrestler on the roster? Not even close. Is Nia Jax entertaining? Not really. But for what Nia Jax is, Nia Jax has been booked perfectly on the main roster so far since her return. She has. I thought what they did at the Royal Rumble, I said this on Saturday night during the post show, what they did at the Royal Rumble with Jade was perfect. That's how you get somebody over big. That was the most perfect spot for Jade Cargill. Clearly, Jade Cargill is not ready for anything yet. She did the bare minimum. She looked like $5 billion that Netflix is giving WWE. That's what she looked like. She looked great. She looks like a fucking real life superhero. That's what WWE is going to make her out to be. That's why WWE signed her. But is she ready for a WrestleMania mega main event match? No, not even fucking close. We might not even be here next year saying that she's ready. It might take a little bit. I know Meltzer gave a report that she's having trouble memorizing spots and she has a problem not remembering things. And that's why they give her the bare minimum. Well, she's going to need to take some type of pill or some fucking focus medication or something, man. She's got to get to that point. You can't put her in the ring with someone like Bianca Belair and then have her do the bare minimum. What she did at the Royal Rumble was great. Believe me, I would have told you if it wasn't. But what I saw out there, it was in a much larger setting. It was in the Royal Rumble. It was in front of 50,000 people at Tropicana Field. She lifted the much larger Nia Jax up and eliminated her by herself in the Royal Rumble. That's a great spot for her to be in. But outside that, all Jade did was pose, and she did the pose. She was basically AEW Jade in a WWE ring with a much larger spotlight and better creative. That's all it was. She's going to really need to understand that if you're going to be in there with Charlotte Flair, who I'm not a big fan of, but she's unbelievable. If you're going to be in there against Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch and Bayley and all these other women, Bianca, you want Jade in all those matches. I could hear the fucking versions online. Those are dream matches. What dream matches? How could it be a dream match when 50% of the match knows what they're doing and the other does not? You think Jade is ready for that? Jade's going to be exposed before you could even breathe if you put her in the ring right now with any of those women. You think the posing is going to get her where she needs to be? Yeah, let me slam Becky Lynch down and pose 16 times during the match. That's not what I came to see. That's not WrestleMania to me. See these geeks online injected into my veins, brother. Bianca and Jade. Fuck are you talking about, man? Inject what into your veins? Mediocrity? The fuck is Jade gonna do in the ring with the Bianca Belair? Pose? I'll give her credit. The spot that they had at the Royal Rumble was fantastic. Let's leave it at that. It's a good starting point. Now, clearly, Nia Jax is challenging Rhea Ripley at the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship. Fine. I can get by that. I can be okay with that. That's fine. Because we're going to do Rhea and Becky at WrestleMania anyway. Becky's going to win the chamber, and then she's going to challenge Rhea. Fine. Bayley's going to get Io. Fine. Nia is going to get Rhea at the Elimination Chamber. Making this prediction right now. Taking back what I said on Saturday. I think what we saw at the Royal Rumble will be continued upon. Seeds were planted in the Rumble for Jade and Nia. Bianca, I don't know what Bianca does at WrestleMania. At this point, I don't even give a shit. I don't. Some people are out, some people are in. Not everybody could be on the WrestleMania card. Fine. But I will say this. If they want to call up Jade, which I don't think she's ready for, but if they do end up calling her up, I could see WWE doing a women's match, non-title, no titles, just a marquee match, an undercard match of Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax at WrestleMania. I think what you saw in the Royal Rumble, I could very well see WWE build upon that. Jade doesn't have to do anything. She could show off her strength. Could go in there 5 minutes. They can have a physical match. She can slam Nia around and pick Nia up and ooh and ah the crowd and then goodbye. But Bianca and Jade, I said, well, that may be the WrestleMania match after the stare down we got. I mean, it was a tease for sure. It's going to happen for sure. But at this year's WrestleMania, I don't think she's ready for that. I don't think she's ready for that at all. What Bianca does at WrestleMania, I don't really know because the championships are going to be occupied. Becky's got Rhea, Bayley's got Io, and Bianca may be shit out of luck for WrestleMania. Who knows? Maybe they call up Tiffany Stratton or Roxanne Perez. Tiffany's ready to go for the main Raw. I could plug in Tiffany on WrestleMania today, and it'll be a banger match. You want to do Tiffany versus Bianca? Fine. Yeah. 4 women's matches? I'd take that. Just give me a fucking story. But Rhea and Nia is definitely your women's match at the Elimination Chamber. Jackie Redmond interviewed Drew McIntyre backstage. He said all he's ever done is tell the truth, and every action he has been justified. He said Sami has defeated him exactly 0 times, and that's not going to change tonight. Sami Zayn has never defeated Drew McIntyre in a singles match. And this was the main event of the show. Good match between these two. The show is better with Sami on it. The show is good when Drew is a prick. His heel work is great. And this was a great main event. It went 13 minutes. We go to a commercial break. Zayn used a distraction to hit a suicide dive. McIntyre's in control after the break. Zayn fought back, hit a sunset flip, sit-out powerbomb. He goes for a cover, gets a 2. Followed it up with a tornado DDT for a 2. McIntyre followed with a spine buster. He goes for a cover on that, gets a 2. Sit-out powerbomb, goes for another cover, gets a 2. Sami Zayn hurt his arm, so he couldn't get McIntyre up for a suplex. McIntyre responded with a headbutt, Glasgow kiss. McIntyre went to the top, but Zayn brought him down with a beautiful-looking superplex. Zayn went for the Helluva kick, but McIntyre dropped him with a clothesline. McIntyre went for the Claymore kick. Zayn countered that into the Blue Thunder Bomb, which was great. Love that move. McIntyre followed with a big overhead suplex and a white noise off the top rope, or the middle rope, rather, for a 2. McIntyre then shoved Zayn while telling him that some people were just out of his league, including him. Zayn fired back. He went for the Helluva kick. This was a very good ending. I loved this ending. So Zayn sees McIntyre in the corner. He goes and tries to do the Helluva kick, but McIntyre, he blocked it. Now, he went to his knees, and he had his fists kind of intertwined like this into a double axe handle position. He blocked it, but the fists, his knuckles, got Sami right in the balls because he lifted his leg up to deliver the Helluva kick, and he crotched him by blocking the move. Referee didn't see it. So this was an inadvertent move. Referee allowed it to continue, and McIntyre immediately hit a Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3, and Drew McIntyre pins Sami Zayn once again in the main event of Monday Night Raw, and basically that's the way the show came to a close. I don't know why this was the main event over Gunther and Kofi Kingston or the tag team titles, but we had 2 title matches on this show, and this was the main event. But all in all, this was a very good episode of Monday Night Raw. Very newsworthy fallout show for the Royal Rumble. I hope you guys got what you needed from me tonight in regards to CM Punk and where we go now with WrestleMania. Why Cody challenging Rollins does not make sense and will not be the direction that they go in. Hopefully you guys got all that you needed here. I thought tonight was a great discussion. I thought tonight was a great show. If you guys enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate you hit that thumbs up. Sound off in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Tonight's show sponsored by Manscaped. Guys, you know Valentine's Day coming up? You know, the wrestling fans on social media, man, they don't celebrate Valentine's Day because, I mean, they're slobbery, dirty, fat neckbeards. But for us in the OTS community, I know you guys are going to celebrate Valentine's Day with your lovely ladies, your wives, your partner. Valentine's Day is knocking, and Manscaped is the remedy for what the love doctor ordered. The all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is designed to elevate your grooming game and shine like the heartthrob you are. No, you're not going to become Shawn Michaels. Stop. Join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and snag 20% off plus free shipping with code SCRIPT20 at checkout. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This electric trimmer features skin-safe technology guarding your Valentine's Day treasure against any grooming mishaps. It also comes with their brightest LED spotlight, yet it's brighter than your best romantic smile. Perfect for precise grooming, even in the trickiest spots. It's waterproof. You guys can take it in the shower, no problem. Manscaped is also going to include the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's liquid formulations as well, and 2 free goodies, the Shed Travel Bag and Boxer 2.0. The Boxers 2.0, man, I love them. I may have them on right now, you don't know. Because comfort is the king for everybody on Valentine's Day. Make sure you guys go and get all of this today. 20% off, free shipping. Code SCRIPT20 at manscaped.com because your grooming upgrade awaits, ready to charm your Valentine's dates. Love it. Who was the first in the venue tonight, man? Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Good Monday, JD. Hope you had a good Sunday off. I did. Thank you, Michael. What will WWE and AEW do this week, my friend? I don't know, man. It looks like they have another very minuscule crowd on Dynamite Wednesday, which is not very exciting, man. Imagine going from 14,000 on Raw to 2,000 on Dynamite. What the fuck are they doing over there? Ryan Heisler with a $5 super chat. WWE should just do an ambulance match between Punk and Rollins at Mania. Wishful thinking. I appreciate all the work you do for us. Hashtag nobody does it better. I know. Thank you, Ryan. Jim Cornette with a $1.99. Tell Jesse that tweet about Punk was a bitch move. I talked to Jesse about this, Jim Cornette. All Jesse did was quote Jon Moxley. He didn't mean to rile up anybody. Well, maybe he did, but Jesse did not wish harm on CM Punk. He did not praise and gloat and glorify CM Punk's injury. He did not do that. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Crazy thought. Cody, Seth, night 1. Cody, Roman, night 2. No, we don't need Cody wrestling 2 times in one night if he doesn't have to. Or 2 times in 2 nights if he doesn't have to. Why would we do that? Hollywood Guy with a $5 super chat. JD, what do you think of Cody challenging Rollins night 1 at WrestleMania, winning, and then challenging Roman night 2 and winning, and then unifying the title? No. Unifying what title? Unifying the World Heavyweight Championship with the other 2 titles that Roman has? No, there will be a World Heavyweight title and a WWE title. The Universal title I would get rid of. We don't need it anymore. It's a Vince title. Michelle with the 2. Sammy's WrestleMania moment will finally be beating Drew. We've seen it how many times already? I'm done with it. Billy, $2 super chat. My guy Billy Zane. The Tampa crowd was dead as a silent fart. Maybe at the Rumble. I thought they were a lot better tonight. Said Suko with the $4.99. They hanged the plans Cody already picked. Roman after the Rumble and Cole saying, what inning are we in? Now they pivoted because of the Punk injury. Yes, they pivoted to give you guys a little dash of unpredictability. Stop. Poppy Sensei 206 with 3 months. Thank you, brother. Since Punk is missing Mania, now more than ever, I want Gunther versus Seth. Winner take all at Mania. No reason that shouldn't happen now. Feed us, Triple H. MGM ballin'. $4.99. Can't really understand why there's 2 title matches, but Sami versus Drew is the main event. I know Drew is cooking, but both title matches were solid. You know, MGM, I just said that, man. I don't get it. Either one of those matches, either one of those title matches could have main evented the show, for sure. M. James with a $2 super chat. I don't know how many more CM Punk heartbreaks I can take. That's tough, man. It's tough. Who do I got for the Super Bowl? I'm going with the Chiefs because the Super Bowl is rigged and clearly Taylor Swift is a fucking government psyop. You heard it here first. Give me a fucking break. Guarantee fucking scripted like a WWE show. Guarantee it. They win the Super Bowl. He proposes to Taylor Swift and then the rest is history. And then they break up in 6 months. Fuck out of here. America's sweetheart Travis James with the $1.99. Thank you, brother. Fucking Super Bowl is scripted, guys. I don't know what to tell you. The Super Bowl is scripted, and the halftime show is a satanic fucking ritual to brainwash everybody. Just watch. Just watch. Gotta be fucking kidding me, man. You know how much Satan imagery was in last year's Super Bowl, man? There's videos on it. Just go watch. It's disgusting. Everybody's like, oh my God. Shit music and fucking imagery because they know 60 million people are watching. And you all eat it up. Dom Wappa with a $4.99. How hard is it for people to like both WWE and AEW? We all love wrestling. I hope Punk rehabs well and comes back better than ever. He will. I see my guy Dr. Evil Genius is in the chat. He knows. He knows. Jim Cornette with a $4.99. I find it funny how Jesse tells you to get off Twitter, but he gets on Twitter doing shit way worse. Sure, he'll play victim like he always does. Bro, he didn't glorify Punk's injury. I don't know what everybody's upset about. Is Punk fragile? Physically, he is. Doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that one out. Phil with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Whether you love him or not, whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that Punk loves this business. It crushed him being out there. He will be back, and hopefully WrestleMania 41 will be his moment in the sun. Drew's work in that was incredible. Yes, Drew, he's just been on fire lately. I love Drew McIntyre. I don't know, I'll ask him on Wednesday if Jesse's a Swiftie. I think if you listen to Taylor Swift's music, I think you got some fucking mental problems, honestly. Especially if you're a grown man. Tay-Tay, the savior with a $49.99 super chat. Thank you, my brother. Hi, JD. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I feel bad for... Well, today's your birthday now, Tay-Tay. Happy fucking birthday, Tay-Tay. Everybody in the chat, I want to see some birthday cake emojis for Tay-Tay. And I feel bad for CM Punk. Sucks to miss WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes should face Roman Reigns and beat him for the undisputed title. Seth Rollins, in my opinion, should be defending his title against Gunther. Yes. Cody Snyder with a $5 super chat. Man, today sucks. My grandpa, my best friend aside from my grandma, who's no longer with us, has health concerns. Now, Punk, I'm down. Cody, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. My thoughts and well wishes to your grandpa. I miss mine every day, man. The Bastard 97 with a 199. JD DIY is amazing, but how terrible is their theme? Yeah, their theme is awful. I just wish that they would bring back Johnny Gargano's theme and have that be their theme. Ryan Fairbarn with a $5 super chat. CM Punk returns early August and feuds with McIntyre. Unsure what happens until he wins the Rumble. Punk vs. Rhodes, WWE title at WrestleMania. I could see it. It depends on, I mean, listen, he would have to go over to SmackDown, but I don't know. Boz Wrench with a 5. If Punk had won the Royal Rumble with the injury and not Cody, would they have given Punk's win to Cody since he was runner-up? No, there was no audible called. It was Cody's Royal Rumble from the beginning, and they did not call an audible. It was never meant to be Punk. Nathan Rush with a $5 super chat. What do you think about going to a woman commentator? If so, Kayla should get a promotion from PLE panel to commentator. No. No, Kayla doesn't have the voice to be a woman commentator on television weekly. No, Kayla is fine at where she is. Phantom 67 with a $20 super chat. Gunther versus LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that, Phantom. I think LA Knight is Logan Paul for the United States title at WrestleMania. Jason Barker with a $10 super chat. What is your opinion on deep dish pizza, and can you do your explanation in a rant fashion? Jason, deep dish pizza fucking sucks, okay? I don't go and order pizza that looks like fucking lasagna. I want a nice triangular shape to my pizza, thin crust, lots of cheese. I want to be able to fold it up and take a fucking bite. And the greasier, the better. All that grease from the mozzarella. Love it. If I gotta eat fucking pizza with a fork and a knife, and I gotta dig into that fucking thing like I'm hunting for buried treasure, that's not fucking pizza, okay? It's not. Fuck Chicago. New York pizza is superior. Fact. Brudda with a $5 super chat. Hope you're doing well, JD. Would you ever be open to doing a crossover show with the Solid Monster? And what are your thoughts on the current state of AEW? The current state of AEW, man, they're in trouble. I don't know where they're running these fucking shows from. That's got to change. And would I do a crossover show with Solid Monster? Sure. I love Jason. Work with him every month at House of Glory. Why wouldn't I? Wellington with a $5 super chat. Wellington T. Ever wonder that Priest may not have Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank contract? Maybe Finn kept it when he switched the briefcases to not worry about Priest winning the title. I mean, it's a possibility, Wellington T. I know my guy Andrew Baydala has brought that to the table as far as a possibility. Yeah, Dr. Evil Genius said, look, deep dish pizza is like a loaf of bread with pizza sauce and cheese on it. That sounds disgusting. Keith Tunstall with 7 months. Thank you, brother. I want to shout out Ronda Rousey about what she said about Bruce. She basically told us what you've been saying But it's good to hear that confirmation. Bro, I gained a shit ton of respect for Ronda Rousey. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. I hope your friend is doing okay after what happened. He's in the chat. Send them your well wishes, Michael. Dr. Evil Genius in the chat. Videos by HBP. $5 super chat. I believe when Rock said he was going to sit at the head of the table, he was announcing to the world that he was becoming part of the board of directors. No. And Z-Bone7 with a $4.99. JD, big fan from Texas. Can I get a shout out at Z-Bone7? Thanks. Z-Bone, welcome to the LTS venue, brother. What the fuck are you drinking tonight? Guys, I think we killed it tonight, man. Stream was awesome. Discussion was on point. You guys know it, man. Time to rev up the Mustang and get the fuck out of here, bro. Seriously. Thank you guys for all of your support, man. What a tremendous Royal Rumble week. You guys killed it. Showing support to the podcast. Love it. Drew and I will be live with episode number 33 tomorrow night. My God, do we got a lot to talk about, man. Vince, Bruce, Ronda, Punk, Cody, Rollins, you name it. Drew's thoughts on the Royal Rumble. It is going to be a banger show tomorrow. Follow me on social media on X at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, X, or whatever the fuck you calling it. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Thank you guys for 1,200 likes. And go check out all the other videos on the channel. Plenty of it. And tonight's sponsor, man, Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Code SCRIPT20 at checkout. Plus free shipping. Guys, I will see you back here tomorrow night with Andrew Bagdala. I'm sure I'll have something in the afternoon as well for you guys extra tomorrow right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.